The Little Princess Who Mended a Broken Spell. In the heart of the Cloudberry Kingdom, where towers were stitched together by rainbows and staircases sometimes forgot where they were going, stood a very special school. It was called Moonbell Magic School. Moonbell Magic School did not look like other schools. Its doors hummed softly when they opened. Its windows blinked in the sunlight like curious eyes. The classrooms floated gently, as if they were thinking about drifting away but decided to stay. And every morning when the silver bell rang, it sang instead of ringing. Ding darling, it sang, warm and kind. This was where Princess Elinora, a very small princess with very big curiosity, went to school. Elinora wore a crown that often slipped down her forehead because it was still a little too big. Her school robe was sprinkled with tiny stars that changed color depending on her mood, soft blue when she was calm, sunny yellow when she was happy, and shy pink when she felt unsure. Today, her robe shimmered a gentle green. Green meant thinking, because today was Advanced Beginner Spell Day. Elinora skipped across the floating bridge into the school courtyard, her leather shoes tapping lightly.
I hope I remember the spell steps. Slow voice, steady hands, kind heart,
she whispered to herself. She had learned that magic worked best when feelings were gentle. The lesson of spells. Inside classroom 7, Professor Luminara waited. Professor Luminara was tall and graceful, with hair like moonlight. When she smiled, the candles in the room leaned closer.
Good morning, little stars,
she said.
Good morning, Professor Luminara.
The students chimed. Today's lesson was written on the blackboard by a piece of chalk that hopped politely from letter to letter. Spell care and responsibility. Professor Luminara tapped the board.
Magic is not just about saying words correctly. It is about listening, noticing, and fixing what goes wrong,
she said. She lifted a small glass jar. Inside the jar floated a spell. It looked like a ribbon made of light, curling and glowing softly.
This is a practice spell. It helps flowers grow straighter,
said the professor. The students oohed and ahed.
But spells are delicate. If we rush, shout, or forget kindness, a spell can crack.
Professor Luminara continued. Crack? Elinora's fingers curled. She did not like the sound of that.
You will each receive a spell to practice today. Remember gentle magic,
the professor said. The jars floated gently to each desk. When Elinora's jar landed in front of her, she smiled. Her spell glowed a warm golden color.
I'll take good care of you,
she whispered. The accident. Everything was going well. Elinora spoke slowly. She moved carefully. She remembered to breathe. But then a loud bang echoed from the other side of the room. One student had sneezed. Another laughed. The room buzzed. Elinora's hands trembled just a little, and then crack. A tiny sound, so small that only Elinora heard it. She looked down. Her spell ribbon had a thin, jagged line running through it. The light flickered.
Oh no,
Elinora whispered. The spell trembled, shrinking in on itself.
I broke it,
She said softly. Professor Luminara noticed at once. She walked over and knelt beside Elinora.
Thank you for noticing. Noticing is the first step,
She said kindly.
Can you fix it?
Elinora asked, her eyes shiny. Professor Luminara shook her head gently.
This is your spell, and today's lesson is about repair.
Elinora swallowed.
But I don't know how.
That is what you will discover.
Said the professor, smiling. The broken spell room Moonbell Magic School had a very special place. It was called the Spell Mending Room. The door was stitched with golden thread, and above it were words that shimmered. Broken things are not bad things. Inside, shelves were filled with jars, some cloudy, some dim, some cracked. Elinora carried her jar carefully, both hands wrapped around it. The spell inside flickered weakly.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rush.
She whispered to it. The spell gave a tiny pulse of light, like a sigh. The spell mending room was quiet, so quiet that Elinora could hear her own thoughts. She sat at a small table and opened a big book titled How to Fix What Magic Forgets. She flipped the pages. Some spells needed time, some needed warmth, some needed listening. Elinora frowned.
How do I know which one you need?
She asked the spell. The spell flickered again, and then a small voice spoke.
I feel torn.
Elinora gasped.
You can talk? Only when someone is really listening,
Said the spell. Elinora leaned closer.
I'm listening.
She said. Listening with the heart. The spell's light steadied.
I broke because you were scared, not angry, not careless. Just scared.
It said gently. Elinora nodded.
I didn't want to fail. When fear pulls too hard, magic stretches, and sometimes it tears.
The spell glowed softly. Elinora's eyes filled.
I didn't mean to hurt you. I know, but now we must heal.
Said the spell.
How?
Elinora asked. The spell dimmed slightly.
You must mend me the way I was broken.
Elinora thought hard.
I rushed because I was scared. So to fix you, I must slow down.
She said slowly. The spell shimmered.
Yes.
She took a deep breath. In, out. She placed one finger gently on the crack.
I will not hurry. I will not shout. I will be kind.
She whispered. She waited. Nothing happened. Her shoulders drooped.
Sometimes fixing takes more than words.
The spell said.
What else?
Elinora asked.
Care and patience and help.
Said the spell. Asking for help. Elinora hesitated. She liked doing things by herself, but she remembered what Professor Luminara always said. Brave children ask for help. Elinora picked up her jar and walked down the hall. She found her friend Milo, who was very good at quiet spells.
My spell is broken.
Elinora said. Milo peered inside.
It looks scared, like you.
He said. Elinora nodded. Milo smiled kindly.
When I feel like that, I hum.
He said.
Humming?
Elinora asked. Milo hummed a low, gentle tune. The spell inside the jar trembled, then glowed a little brighter. Elinora tried humming too. The crack softened. Next, she visited Luma, who loved warm magic. Luma wrapped the jar in a soft, glowing cloth.
Warmth helps things relax,
She said. The spell sighed happily. Finally, Elinora returned to the spell mending room. The crack was still there, but smaller.
I think you're starting to feel better.
Elinora whispered. The spell glowed brighter than before.
You listened, you shared, you waited.
It said. Elinora smiled.
But one thing is missing.
The spell added.
What?
Elinora asked.
Forgiveness.
Elinora blinked.
For you.
She thought. Then she hugged the jar gently.
I forgive myself. I'm still learning.
She said softly. The room filled with light. The crack sealed itself with a soft ping. The spell shimmered, whole and bright. A new kind of magic. When Elinora returned to class, Professor Luminara looked up.
Well?
She asked. Elinora held up the jar. The spell glowed stronger than before, with gentle rainbow edges. Professor Luminara's eyes twinkled.
What did you learn?
She asked. Elinora thought carefully.
That breaking isn't the end. That listening matters.
She continued.
And that fixing takes time. And kindness.
Professor Luminara nodded.
That is advanced magic.
The spell floated out of the jar and danced around Elinora, sprinkling tiny sparks. Elinora laughed. That evening, as the moon rose over Moonbell Magic School, Elinora wrote in her little notebook.
Today, I broke a spell, and I fixed it. Not by being perfect,
But by being gentle. And somewhere in the quiet halls, the magic school hummed happily, because it knew this little princess was growing into a very wise one. The end.